Don't try to DM me now. Don't try to call niggas around me and tell, hey man, tell back. Fuck that.
You guys miss me or what? I took some really good pictures last night, and
I don't give a fuck about no girls. They'll get back on that when I get to talking my shit. They gonna pop back on. Fuck them. If they left, they want. They want. It's a black. It's that they were unable to join.
What you doing? Nigga on my daughter, nigga. Respect that. Nobody gonna touch you for sure. Hey.
Offset just got caught in the middle of another cheating scandal, but this time, it's not with Cardi B, it's with Ari Fletcher. And the man blowing it all up? None other than Moneybagg Yo, who's so furious, he might actually leak the footage. What started as whispers on social media has now turned into a full-blown war between celebrities, exes, and side chicks. And if you thought this drama couldn't get any messier, you're about to be proven dead wrong. Moneybagg Yo came online with one thing on his mind: vibe check. He made it crystal clear. He's cutting off the negative energy, the fake love, the snakes that only show up when the spotlight's on. I don't want none of that energy around me, he said. And this wasn't just some passive-aggressive post. This was a public cleanse, bold, loud, and unapologetic. But while he was preaching peace, someone casually dropped a nuke in the background. Why I just heard Ari slept with Offset. Yeah, that's when everything flipped. The good vibes? Gone. The internet? Exploded. That one sentence turned a chill live into a headline-level mess. Within minutes, fans raced to Instagram. And what did they find? Ari and Moneybagg Yo had unfollowed each other. In celeb terms, that's the equivalent of flipping a table. Subtle, but loud enough for everyone to hear. And if that wasn't confirmation something went down, Cardi B came in swinging, dropping a tweet calling Ari a bobblehead, then quickly deleting it. But let's be honest, deleting a tweet in 2025 is like trying to erase something from the internet with an eraser. It lives forever. Cardi's reaction made one thing pretty clear. She knew what was up. And while she didn't name names, it didn't take much for fans to put the pieces together. Ari allegedly sleeping with Offset blank Evan Setter, Cardi's ex-husband, was not just messy, it was straight up betrayal. And the wildest part? Ari had the nerve to be mad at Cardi for reacting. Like, what? So now we're in full scandal mode. According to fans and online sources, Moneybagg Yo just confirmed that the rumors about Offset and Ari might actually be true. And he's not taking the high road. In fact, word is, he's so fed up, he's threatening to leak videos of the two. Yes, videos. That's where we're at. Now let's talk Offset. Him stepping out on Cardi isn't shocking to anyone at this point. Dude has cheated so many times, it's basically part of his brand now. He's done it during their relationship, after their divorce, and even came close to having a baby on her. But Ari Fletcher being the side chick? That's the plot twist nobody saw coming. Mostly because Ari built her whole online persona on being that girl. She's the main character, not the background extra, always preaching that she doesn't mess with taken men, that she's never second to anyone. So to see her caught in the middle of Offset and Cardi's mess? Yeah, people were shocked, and extremely online about it. This whole firestorm really kicked off when a blogger, Wango Alexis, timed through the first match. Out of nowhere, she claimed Cardi was expecting a baby with none other than NFL star Stefon Diggs. Not just talking, pregnant. According to her, Cardi and Stefon had been hooking up on the low while she was still with Offset. Allegedly, the whole affair started while Cardi was still carrying Offset's third kid. Now, let's be real. This part is pure rumor. But that didn't stop the internet from going feral. Alexis didn't just post random gossip. She came with a whole photo of Cardi and Stefon together and captioned it like it was a pregnancy announcement. A birdie on my shoulder told me these two are already expecting. Let that sink in. Cardi, who just gave birth like 6 or 7 months ago, is now being accused of already expecting another baby. It's wild. People were screaming, "Let her uterus breathe." But the situation wasn't just wild. It was triggering a full social media meltdown. Then Cardi herself jumped on X Spaces, Twitter's version of live radio, and started venting. She didn't name anyone, but the emotion in her voice said it all. She talked about how Offset ruined her Valentine's Day, about how she just wanted peace and kept getting dragged. She even hinted that someone was making suicidal threats and that she was collecting evidence. It got dark, fast. People were split. Some said Cardi needed to take it private. Others were like, nope, let her talk. She's been holding this in too long. But either way, Cardi was finally breaking her silence, and it was clear that she wasn't afraid to burn some bridges. That's when blogger Alexis really started dropping bombs. She posted DMs, screenshots, old tweets, and then, the biggest one of all, Cardi's own words, where she allegedly called out Offset for sleeping with Ari while they were still together. Cardi's message read, "Tell him to tell you how he was effing Ari while we was together." Boom! Instant explosion. There was no sugarcoating it. That wasn't a rumor. That was Cardi's own alleged statement, and it blew the whole situation wide open. Fans were scrambling, asking, which Ari? And Alexis cleared that up real quick. Ari Fletcher. Just in case there was any confusion, Alexis dropped a throwback tweet from Ari where she said, "Coming to a woman as a woman is one of the corniest things ever." Funny how that tweet aged like milk. And if you thought Alexis was done, she wasn't. She then claimed Cardi used to feed her stories during her relationship with Offset, basically weaponizing blogs to push narratives when it suited her. But now that she's no longer in control of the media firestorm, she's panicking, and apparently, not just panicking, exposing people too. And right when people thought the mess couldn't get any deeper, it did. Alexis started name-dropping Ari's best friend, claiming she was the one who saw Cardi 7 months pregnant, sneaking out of Stefon Diggs' hotel room, looking completely disheveled. No entourage, no glam team, just raw, real, and reportedly caught in the act. Again, it's a rumor, but the visual was strong enough to set the internet on fire. But here's where it starts looping back. The theory now is, Ari's bestie tells Ari tells Offset, and Offset, being Offset, couldn't resist. He allegedly takes the info straight to DJ Academics, trying to paint Cardi as the cheater for once. Petty? Yes. Predictable? Also yes. Then came the Cardi versus Alexis showdown. Cardi allegedly slid into Alexis's DMs confronting her for stirring the pot, saying things like, "I don't cheat no more," and accusing her of spreading false info about Offset. But Alexis fired back fast, claiming that Offset himself admitted he smashed Ari while Cardi was in Atlanta. Again, alleged. But messy? Beyond? This entire thing became a twisted loop of everyone blaming everyone, with all roads somehow leading back to Ari, Offset, and Cardi. But Alexis wasn't finished yet. She doubled down on the Diggs baby rumor, saying Cardi's people had initially denied it, only for Ari's best friend to come back and say she literally saw Cardi leave Diggs' room looking like she just finished something grown. And while Cardi was out here defending herself and throwing hands online, the fanbase started asking questions. Is Offset leaking his own tea? Is Ari really caught up in all this? And is Moneybagg Yo about to go full scorched earth? And yep, back to Moneybagg Yo. Because while all this was unfolding, Bag was apparently spiraling behind the scenes. People close to him were saying he's not just mad, he's done. Not only has he broken up with Ari, but the man is out here talking about leaking videos of Ari and Offset together, like actual footage. The level of messy we're dealing with here is Olympic. Now, this is where we pause and remember that Moneybagg Yo has not exactly been a saint himself. The internet never forgets that he cheated on Ari multiple times, so for him to get this mad now, the hypocrisy is wild. Fans were quick to call it out. He did it, she did it back, and now he's acting like the victim? Come on. Let's rewind to 2022 when Ari tweeted about having an emotional breakdown, crying, needing to heal, and then posted, "Happy, paid, and single, ready for everything new." Translation? She had left him after he cheated. She walked away. She was healing. But surprise, they got back together like most toxic couples do in the industry. Fast forward, and once again, cheating enters the chat. Only this time, it's allegedly Ari doing the stepping out. And suddenly, Bag is channeling his inner martyr. But plot twist, a woman popped up claiming she was messing with Moneybagg Yo while he was still with Ari. Her story? She met him while shopping at Bal Harbour, asked for a picture, exchanged numbers, and that same night, well, things got intimate. Her words, not ours. "I was drunk, horny, and yeah, we did it. No protection." The internet gasped. The receipts? She said she had the photo. And this wasn't some random troll either. Her story was detailed, like down-to-the-minute type receipts. So here we have Ari publicly claiming she doesn't get played, Bag acting shocked over betrayal, and side chicks dropping details like it's a confessional booth. Ari tried to play it cool for a bit. She claimed the breakup had nothing to do with cheating, said it was something personal, something between her and Bag, not another woman. But let's be honest, nobody believed that. It reeked of damage control, especially after weeks of her claiming she could never be cheated on. After all that bold talk about being untouchable, it was starting to look like her whole persona was just smoke and mirrors. Still, she tried to bounce back, claimed she was moving on, and of course, took him back again weeks later. Same cycle, new year. They did the whole fresh start PR run. Interviews, quotes about growth, forgiveness. I love her for real type vibes. Bag even did a whole interview where he got all emotional, talking about how Ari was his best friend, his homie, his soulmate. He praised her strength, talked about how she keeps him in check, the kind of girl who doesn't let you get away with dumb stuff. And yeah, he admitted that he messed up, but he was working on it, supposedly. But even then, he knew how much Ari hated looking stupid in public. He literally said she didn't like when he embarrassed her, didn't want to be the girl that got clowned on Twitter. And what does he do? Embarrasses her again. It's like he understood the assignment and still failed the test. It gets worse. According to him, Ari didn't even find out about his affair directly from him. Nope. Somebody else had to tell her. Someone hit her up with the, "You know what your man's been doing, right?" type energy. So not only did he cheat, he didn't even have the guts to come clean. She had to piece it together like a crime scene. And just when Ari was trying to regain control of the situation, like pretending the cheating wasn't that deep, it all came crashing down. Because the girl Bag allegedly slept with, she didn't just tell her story and disappear. She stayed in the mix, dropping hints, playing the "oh, I could say more" card, basically reminding the internet that she still had ammo. Meanwhile, Ari was out here trying to spin it like it was just a rough patch. She went live and said yeah, she broke up with him. She confirmed it, said she was done, but then added this whole "it wasn't about cheating" line like anyone was buying that. She even said he kidnapped himself for some days. What that even means, nobody knows. But it sounded like a last-ditch effort to make him look unstable and get sympathy back on her side. Still, the internet wasn't buying it. They dragged her for being all bark and no bite. All those tweets about being unbreakable, untouchable, unfazed suddenly started looking real shaky. And when people started pointing out how fast she kept taking Bag back despite the mess, she hit them with the "don't believe the blogs" energy, which, to be fair, is always the last move when there's no more receipts to deny. But let's not act like Bag was sitting in silence either. He was throwing his own shade, subtweeting, posting cryptic messages about snakes and betrayal, the usual soft launch heartbreak content, and it was obvious he was trying to paint himself as the one who got done dirty this time, which is ironic, considering how many times he was the one doing the dirt. Then comes the wild card in this entire saga, Juicy Bag's baby mama. If you've been following the Ari and Bag storyline, you already know Juicy's been a permanent thorn in Ari's side. 3 kids with Bag, constant shade, slick posts, petty behavior. She never fully went away, and honestly, it always felt like she was waiting for her moment to strike. So when Juicy popped back in and claimed she was still messing with Bag during his relationship with Ari, it was like she pressed detonate. She clapped back at Ari, calling her slow, accusing her of watching from fake accounts, and basically implying Bag was still doubling back to her. Juicy said, "A man will act like he doesn't care but lose his mind when you talk to someone else." And honestly, that sounded way too specific to be made up. She also dropped this cold line, "I'm the type to embarrass a man and then delete his whole social life." And let's be real, that hit, because if Bag was still creeping with Juicy while preaching loyalty to Ari, it makes him look like a full-time manipulator who just plays both sides for attention. Ari tried to clap back. She said that people like Juicy were delusional and desperate for relevance. She said pretending to have a man who clearly doesn't want you is mental illness, the usual clapback script. But Juicy wasn't fazed. She hit her with the "keep playing and I'll expose more" threat. And from the way things had already been unraveling, nobody doubted she could. That's when Bag and Ari started airing each other out directly on Twitter. Bag tweeted something vague like, "Watch out for people in your life who look for a reason to fall out with you." And Ari, not one to stay silent, fired back with, "You really trying to play this game? I'll finish it on this B." Like, gloves were off. No more subliminals, just open war. And at this point, fans were exhausted because the cycle was painfully obvious. Bag cheats, Ari reacts, they break up, throw shade, throw hands, then get back together. Rinse, repeat. But this time, it felt different. The offset angle, the potential leaked footage, the multiple women stepping up, it was way more than their usual mess. Now let's not forget, Bag once said on record that Ari was the one. His words, not ours. He called her his homie, his best friend, said she was the only woman who could check him and keep him grounded. The whole ride or die fantasy. But his actions never matched that energy. He embarrassed her, repeatedly, publicly. with zero accountability until he was caught. He even admitted Ari didn't take the cheating well. And why would she? Not only did he step out, he let her find out through someone else. Not from him, from a third party who came in with the receipts. And that betrayal hit different, because it wasn't just about the act, it was about the disrespect of not even owning it. And Bagg had the audacity to go on interviews saying he was trying to heal, that Ari was helping him work through his issues, that she was standing by him and supporting his growth, like she was his emotional support system after he blew everything up. The level of gaslighting was off the charts. But what really got people talking was how he flipped the script so quickly. From cheater to victim, from public embarrassment to spiritual awakening. One minute he's on red carpets with Ari. The next minute he's back with Juicy, or in some random girl's DMs. And when Ari finally gave him a taste of his own medicine, suddenly he's threatening to leak private footage and burn it all down. The hypocrisy is almost poetic. Now here's where it all spirals into full-blown circus territory. Because even after all that, Bagg still tried to play the good guy. He went from savage tweets to soft-spoken interviews where he acted like he was the one who got hurt. The man literally said he wanted to work through his infidelity issues and that Ari was the one helping him, like she was supposed to be his therapist and his girlfriend after he publicly humiliated her. It was wild. The same guy who didn't even tell her he cheated, just let her find out from someone else, is now acting like he deserves emotional support and loyalty? Fans weren't having it. Everyone was calling it what it was, emotional manipulation with a side of gaslighting. And then, the Juicy situation escalated again. Because if you thought she was going to fade into the background, wrong. She came back swinging with more shade, more tweets, more comments. She was making it clear that she wasn't done. She said Bagg still gets jealous when she talks to other men, still checks up on her, still has feelings. And considering how messy he's been, nobody doubted it. Ari tried her best to distance herself. She called it delusion, denied the claims, said she was tired of people trying to insert themselves into her narrative. But at that point, the damage was done. The entire relationship was playing out like a toxic TikTok series, and people were tuning in for every episode. Juicy threw one last punch, saying she could ruin everything if she really wanted to. Ari fired back with the usual "you wish" type energy, calling her slow, accusing her of stalking, watching from fake accounts, basically saying, "You're obsessed with me." But fans knew exactly what was going on. This wasn't about obsession. This was about leverage, and Juicy had plenty of it. Bagg tried to act above it, tweeting vague self-help quotes like, "Some people are in your life just to betray you." But the timing was obvious. Every tweet, every post, every live, it was all aimed at Ari. He couldn't say her name, but he didn't have to. Everyone knew who he was talking about. Ari clapped back too. "You really want to play this game? I'll end it on this B." That's not just a warning. That's a woman who's over it, who's been dragged, clowned, cheated on, lied to, and still somehow made out to be the villain when she finally snapped. And let's be honest, the only reason this entire disaster exploded the way it did was because Bagg couldn't handle a taste of his own medicine. He cheated countless times, got caught, got forgiven, over and over. But the moment he suspected Ari stepped out, the whole world had to burn. He unfollowed her. He made it public. He started threatening revenge. He turned into the very man he always claimed not to be. Now, fans are calling him out for the hypocrisy, for being the same guy who bragged about being untouchable, but folded the moment he got played. The comments are brutal. He's getting roasted for acting like he was blindsided, when in reality, he built the very mess he's now drowning in. And that's the saddest part, because behind the cheating, the clout chasing, the leaks, and the live stream shade battles, there was once a relationship. Two people who actually seemed to care about each other, who publicly called each other the one, who did interviews together, made business moves together, and presented themselves as that rare couple in the industry that might actually make it. But now, it's just another cautionary tale, another case study in how public relationships, especially ones built on appearances, almost always fall apart under pressure. Because the moment things get real, the facade cracks. And when you're constantly cheating, lying, and airing your business online, there's no trust, no privacy, no love left to salvage. Ari and Bagg might have loved each other once, but what they have now is just mutual destruction. One's trying to leak tapes, the other's trading shots with baby mamas. And fans? They're just watching from the sidelines, popcorn in hand. If you enjoyed watching, you're not going to want to miss it, so don't forget to like and subscribe.